Apple's iPhones may look nearly identical at first glance, but beneath that familiar glass and aluminum exterior, each generation quietly tells a different story. And the upcoming iPhone 17 series is no exception, because subtle yet powerful shifts in hardware are beginning to set them apart in ways that could redefine Apple's strategy. And now, thanks to a trusted new leak, we have a clearer picture of what to expect, with reports suggesting that the standard iPhone 17 will arrive powered by Apple's new A19 chip, while the much-hyped ultra-thin iPhone 17 Air, designed as the slimmest iPhone ever, will reportedly feature the more advanced A19 Pro chipset, but with a slightly downgraded 5-core GPU instead of the full 6-core version expected on the Pro and Pro Max models. And this difference may not seem massive on paper, but industry analysts believe it's a calculated decision, because the Air's impossibly slim frame creates strict limits on heat dissipation, forcing Apple to trim just one GPU core for the sake of stability. Yet despite this small reduction, the Air still promises to be incredibly powerful, especially since Apple is rumored to equip it with 12 gigabytes of RAM, the same as both the Pro and Pro Max, while the standard iPhone 17 is expected to stick with 8 gigabytes, creating a clear dividing line between the base model and the higher-tier devices. And this makes the iPhone 17 Air a fascinating middle ground option, nearly matching the Pro's capabilities while keeping a lighter and thinner design. And although conflicting reports continue to swirl, some suggesting that the Air might instead ship with the same A19 chip as a base model, most insiders maintain that Apple is more likely to give a Pro-level configuration with only one GPU core cut, because it aligns with Apple's precise and disciplined design philosophy. And this strategy can make the Air one of Apple's biggest hits of the year, appealing to millions of buyers who want performance of a Pro model without its weight, bulk, or higher price. And when we look at the RAM configuration, the logic becomes clearer, because Apple doesn't usually hand out 12 gigabytes of RAM casually, and giving it to the Air suggests the company wants this model to handle advanced AI-driven features, heavy multitasking, and the increasingly demanding photo and video processing needs of modern users. And as Apple continues to push forward with iOS 19 and beyond, it's becoming clear that more RAM is essential, not just for Pro-level apps, but also for the AI and AR functions Apple is weaving into the iPhone ecosystem. And this is where the iPhone 17 Air could shine, delivering nearly Pro-level power in a sleek, futuristic form factor that feels both modern and practical. And while the Air will likely come with a slightly smaller display and battery compared to Pro, early leaks suggest Apple's efficiency improvements, combined with the 2 nanometers manufacturing process of the A19 Pro chip, could help close the gap in real-world performance, giving users a premium experience without major sacrifices. And if history is anything to go by, Apple's Air brand has always signaled a balance of performance and portability, from the iconic MacBook Air to the iPad Air, and now that same philosophy could be arriving for the iPhone, creating a product that resonates with both enthusiasts and mainstream buyers. And according to one source, Apple's iPhone 17 Air shows a very precise approach, almost matching the Pro's configuration, except for cutting one GPU core and offering a slightly smaller display and battery. But expectations are very high that this slim model will become one of the biggest hits of the year. And this statement captures the growing buzz around the device perfectly, because while tech fans will continue to debate whether Apple should have given the Air a full 6-core GPU, the reality is that most users will likely never notice the missing core in day-to-day use, and instead will appreciate the balance of sleek design, lighter weight, and nearly Pro-level specs. And this balance could be exactly why the iPhone 17 Air emerges as a runaway success, carving its own identity while sitting comfortably between the base iPhone 17 and the full-blown Pro models. And as launch day approaches, one truth becomes more and more evident. The iPhone 17 Air is not just another variant, but potentially the start of a new tradition in Apple's lineup, one that redefines what a slim flagship can achieve. And as anticipation builds, all eyes will be on Apple to see how they position this model, how it performs against competitors, and whether it lives up to the enormous expectations that are already surrounding it. But one thing is for sure, when the iPhone 17 series finally makes its debut, the Air will not be overlooked. It will be front and center, promising to deliver one of the most exciting Apple experiences we've seen in years. And we'll be covering it every step of the way, only on TechVerse.